Hi there, from Dohak, northern Iraq. This is Timothy Dolan with a vlog episode now that I'm in country. I'm going to share some of my initial impressions, and of course it is a beginner's take on things. I don't claim to be an expert in the area. I've done my share of traveling, and this is a relatively new area for me. I've lived before in Cairo, Egypt, and in Baku, Azerbaijan. Dohak in northern Iraq is about halfway between those 2 points. So take that as you will. I can tell you that the people in the Kurdistan Autonomous Region of northern Iraq seem to have, in general, very good hearts. I haven't had any problem. People have been very, very helpful and friendly overall. Even here in my dump of a motel, I can't really complain. I happen to enjoy a kind of Goldilocks placement. The neighbor on one side has a place that's facing the street, so he's catching a lot of street noise. We are on a slope, which means that the cars, taxis, trucks, what have you, are motoring up, and there's also a very busy, bustling place. A lot of little shops and restaurants that you find in a little town like this. On the other side, that gentleman had the initial misfortune of having a squatter toilet, which would be a deal breaker for me. Subsequently, the manager of this place has changed his toilet out. Such is the helpfulness. As for me, I'm between those two spaces. It's a quiet area. Stuff works most of the time. It's off and on. It's the way it is. The national grid goes out here roughly every 2 hours, 2 to 4 hours. And then diesel generators that are placed in pretty much every neighborhood kick in after usually less than a minute. So it's a minor inconvenience because everything goes off and then may or may not come back on. That is, you need to switch your TV back on and, get your internet Wi-Fi running again. Another point that turns out to be something of a blessing, my Wi-Fi here is pretty good. And I get to stream things like Netflix, so, for what that's worth. Not that I'm spending a lot of time watching TV. There you get a few channels. I mean, we're on what's called Nilesat, a satellite system that serves pretty much the entire Middle East region. So the channels of any interest to me are really, there's a France 24 news program, international in English, and CNN International, and Al Jazeera, which seems to get very poor reception here. And then a couple of, call them commercial style, English language drama shows that show quite a number of movies. We get Ray Donovan, I guess, for what that's worth. Otherwise, I'm drawing from my own news feed and, internet-based news items. So, I'm certainly in touch with things. And it's more a matter of simply exploring and discovering. It's not a rich area. The economy is not great here, but people are getting along. Geopolitically, it's in a space that is, as I said, the Kurdish Autonomous Region. I won't go into too much detail about that other than to say that they're flying their own flag here. You don't see an Iraqi flag pretty much anywhere. And they seem to like it that way. Mosul, just down the road, is really another world. People here don't trust the Arabs. And likewise, it's a mixed feeling about the Turks. The Turks are just to the north. We have a highway running through this town that appears to go right into Turkey. It certainly gets a great deal of truck traffic on it. And it's on the route that connects Dohak with the American University in Kurdistan. So I'm on that road a lot. I'm going to keep this short, other than to say, so far so good. Eating is, for this vegetarian, is always a challenge, but I am making my way. There's a very good mall with a nice supermarket called Carrefour, which is sort of a French-affiliated operation. So you get a fair amount of imported food, which I'm fortunate enough to get. It does not include tofu, unfortunately, but can't have everything. You know, it's part of the traveling and residing in a foreign country experience. You know, it is what it is. But so far, so good, as I said. And stay tuned. I'll probably come back and regale with tales from the Kurdish Autonomous Region. And until then, Timothy Dolan signing off.